Hello from Sojourn Psychology. There is so much going on out there these days. And I mean, I think that most of us are working extremely hard. We don't necessarily have a ton of free time. But I also notice people shifting priorities, people making big life decisions to move into a more positive space, to motivate themselves to live with less regret, more joy, more life satisfaction, more meaning, and more purpose, which is brilliant. Keep it up, everyone. Move into a space of meaning, move into a space of purpose. Bad things are going to happen. The challenge is to make meaning from them. Viktor Frankl, I paraphrase a bit lightly, but beautiful, just beautiful to see those who have come through difficulty and who have found meaning and purpose and said, hey, you come out on the other side and there is something. Beauty from ashes, a phoenix experience. When I think of a phoenix, I think that is an animal that is just beautiful and brilliant. There's symbolism in the personification or metaphor of a phoenix in so many different folklore, cultures, stories, Harry Potter, all sorts of things, right? And when I think of a phoenix, I just think, what an interesting animal. And when I hear people speak about a phoenix, I think, what an interesting person. So to quote myself, because this is a thing that I say and I mean it and I think about it, I've said this when I was a university instructor to my students. I've said this on all sorts of platforms because I care about this statement. Here it is. Interesting people are interested in interesting things. Let that wash over you, right? Interesting people are interested in interesting things. We all have those people in our life. We look at them and we're like, wow, you're cool. Oh, you're kind of dark horse. You got some stuff going on. You know, like those people who we're continually drawn to, surprised by, impressed by. We feel good in their energy space. And we want to know more about them because there is something about an interesting person. Because they're interested in interesting things. The most interesting people that I come alongside of, I'm continually surprised by them. You know, these are people who have a creative lens. Usually an interesting person allows themselves some sort of space to channel their creative energy through hobby, through actual painting, media, poetry. I like poetry. Maybe I'm interested. Song, sculpting, you know, a creative person, nature, bringing together parts of nature, gardening. Oh my word. Have you ever met an artistic gardener? Interesting person. Actually, gardeners can be some of the most interesting people. Probably, and people, I've heard this said, and I wonder if it's true because they put their hand in the soil all the time. Is that why they're so interesting? I don't know, all those minerals, just the beauty of caring about the earth. Interesting people are interested in interesting things. That creative energy, artistry, books. But something that I notice, well, a lot of interesting people, they just read a lot of good books, maybe books that they're passionate about. I like to stick on forums with athletes. I pretend I'm an athlete, I'm not really, but I like to, you know, exercise time to time. But athletes will read athletic books and they just find these powerful stories. And those extreme athletes are really interesting people. And they'll write a story and they're not just about, hey, I'm a runner or I'm an extreme weightlifter or something like this. They have so many multifaceted parts of their life and it's inspiring. I find people that I find most interesting. I just ran across a very interesting person recently. I wasn't surprised because people that I find interesting, fascinating, often read a lot of classic literature, fiction, nonfiction, theology. I'm such a sucker for theology, the old stuff, love it. But interesting people read interesting things. And they just read, period. They do. Interesting people read. So that's something that I've noticed as well. Creativity, artistry, reading good good fiction, nonfiction, and off mainstream. Yeah, I think that there's something about interesting people find what is interesting, and those things are often off mainstream. So think of back when we were able to travel, those trips you had taken were privileged to go, whether it was in the province, in the city, off the beaten road, you know, through our great country or to other countries. For me, the most interesting experiences were the ones that were off the beaten track. You know, those hole in the wall restaurants where the food was just fabulous, or those atypical adventures, those are we gonna make it home type things, those experiences, even the frustrations that might happen when we are outside of mainstream, because on the other side of those frustrated moments, there is something. And it's just this experience. Maybe it's a knowing ourselves better. Maybe it is knowing what we don't like or finding something new that we do like. So off mainstream. I think too, you know, I think of some of my most favorite interesting people. And I think they're always up to something that would surprise you. So I think of garages full of maybe hundreds of pieces of acrylic art. I think of, you know, basements that are cluttered with artifacts from around the world. I think of friends telling me that they are going to build a brand new community, Zoom salon of sorts, where ideas and art will be celebrated. Mentors who are writing book after book, and each one is better than the other. You know, these interesting people, and you know where they started? Right where we are. Everybody starts where we are. You know, and that's a thing. You want to be interesting? Interesting people are interested in interesting things. That's the key. We want to get there. We want to be one of those people that we admire. Set a measurable and manageable goal and do something about it. Read something different. Try some different music, different food, drive down a different road, walk in a different park. It doesn't have to be a lightning bolt idea. A shift is a shift. And as we shift, we can find space for something new and different. And that's what interestingness is all about. All right, you guys, I have faith in you. I have faith in you. I have faith in me. Let's be interesting. Let's be interesting. And that'll just be it. That'll be awesome.